You know how much power she has?
That of a U.S. senator who's been in office for umpteen years. It's a lot of power.
Let's put it this way. What can be made public is already not too powerful. The true power is behind the closed doors. That's the true power. I knew she's evil and she's powerful, but I don't know how powerful she was until last night. I was reading a chapter on her.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, this woman is scary. It's scary. I'll send you some literature so you can read because that's a
Hopefully,
little bit beside our discussion today. And FDR stresses the importance of four aspects of our freedom and why we are living in this a lot of fear. Where does the fear come from? Compared to the 80s, we are more like slaves. And if you lose your sovereignty over your own body, you are a slave.
yeah. You are a slave
Yeah, that's the
with
most
no
basic.
rights.
That's the most
Is it?
basic human rights, right?
Absolutely.
It's the same as when people force certain kind of food down your throat. If you have no say, you cannot refuse. The person says, you know what, this food or liquid is good for you, you have to drink it. And you ask a person, what is in that glass, in that bottle? The person says, well, just go ahead and drink it. I'll tell you what's in there 55 years from now.
Yeah,
All right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
eat that plate. Eat that plate. What is on the plate, you don't have to know. Just eat it. It's good for you. It's good for the common good. Good for our country. Good for the world. Okay? Just
Yeah.
eat it. Eat it. Well, I don't know what that is. You don't have to know. So now what you are? You are a
Your
basically,
grandchildren. Yeah, your grandchildren will find out what it was.
right. Compared to the 80s,
So,
we have lost so much. In the 80s, we rarely hear people lose their jobs because their political opinions, because their attitude towards a certain issue. Of course, in the 80s, you don't hear this LGBTQD, all these different gender issues, right?
right.
Yeah, well, it used to be two genders. Now we have 123 different genders. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do?
Interesting.
Yeah,
The genders are multiplying,
yeah, yeah.
just like people.
Well, they create all these mumbo jumbo topic in order to show that they are morally higher or more virtuous than other people. They are more tolerant. So being more tolerant is a better human. That's what they're trying to say. So if you want to be a better human, you better stand with us and promote 124th gender. As far as it's natural, it's scientific, is it biological, true, doesn't matter. If you ask that question, you are not with us. We have to curse out on you, we beat you up, we dox you, we kill your dogs, we poison your birds, whatever, to shut you up. That's called mafia politics.
And if you want a good example of what you're giving up for what you would get, meaning what we've had in this country, which is a country based on Judeo-Christian principles and based on what they are saying is the way to go. Okay, under Judeo-Christian um, auspices, it's love your neighbor as yourself. And under liberalism, under the leftists, it's be tolerant. And I want to ask you which one of those ideas is the one to shoot for, because we all know as human beings, we can shoot for a high principle and we rarely attain it. But if you set your sights high, you're gonna hit higher and achieve higher than if you set your sights low. If you want the leftist agenda, then you are going to get a tolerance that is intolerant. And I would rather live in a country that is trying to do unto others as they would have done unto them. And even though that standard does not get hit that often, at least that's still the standard, and that is still the goal. Because if your goal is something so base as tolerance, then you're going to come up with something much, much uglier and much less than even tolerance. That's my opinion.
The left take advantage of a small percentage of that population to promote what those people go after. In order to promote, to be successful for the minority to dominate the society, they have one simple strategy: punishment and reward. Very easy, okay? For all people who do evil, they reward those people. Okay, the obvious examples, we have millions, we talked about already: catch and release, the criminals, people who promote leftist ideas, got a promotion, got a bigger paycheck, all that. Then the other part of the tool is punish. And that's where the mafia politics come into play. They do not really publicly punish all those people who worship God or whatever, but they secretly, in the darkness of night, to punish those people, to spread fear. So, and fear and reward are two tools to control any living creature. That's what Pavlov's experiment proved time and again. If you give enough reward and adequate punishment at the right time, the timing is good, you can tame any animal: tiger, lion, wolf, bear. They all listen to you. Okay, they apply those principles to humans, and they are very successful to a large degree. Pretty successful. If you look at the European countries, most people are slaves, animals. A few still have the spirit of freedom, stand up and trying to fight for their rights. They got crushed. Same as in Canada. Civil liberty and social justice, everything was advanced to such a unprecedented level that everybody benefited. But then the wokeism cut off that part of the history, saying your ancestor did something so that contributing to what we are experiencing today, and the conclusion is the entire system is racist. In order to restore humanity or justice, we have to overthrow this system, because the system itself is racist, which is actually very untrue, totally wrong. Our system today is still the best, if not to be destroyed. We have no argument on this one. We are talking about the same thing from two approaches, okay, from two perspectives. We're talking about the same thing. I'm just trying to say that wokeism is so destructive to this society simply because it cut off the evolution part of social movement, social evolution. And that's why they are so afraid of public debate. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they just make stuff up, and that becomes obvious when they're in debates. They
Right.
get hammered. They don't understand that they've been debating in their own echo chamber with everybody agreeing with them, and so when they get out with somebody with
No,
a
not true. Not
contradictory
true.
idea, they just like, oh my gosh.
I used to think that they do not understand. They do not understand. They're in their echo chamber, whatever. That's superficial, seemingly. The truth is, they understand everything much better, much deeper, much more profound than us. That's the truth.
Really?
Okay, like the guy that you cited earlier, like Bill Maher.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Bill Maher, like the leftist professors from Stanford University. Okay, the researchers or the intellectuals like Noam Chomsky. Okay, all those people are very high IQ people. They read thousand books. They wrote so many dozen of books. They gave public speech or educated the public for 20, 30 some years. You tell me they don't understand such a simple issue? No. They understand it. They know it thoroughly. They were doing that because they got rewarded. If they don't do it, they got punished. Very simple. Pavlov principle. Very simple.
Okay.
On the left, you know this paper is white, but you have to tell the public this is green. If you don't, okay, your dog is dead tonight.
And when you have been raised in an atmosphere of there is no ultimate truth, then why not? Why not do that? If there's no real truth, then why not just do this? Why not promote this truth that isn't truth, that is a lie? But why not promote it for gain if there is no truth? So that's why no. You know, that's what surprised me so much on Timcast, how they're actually talking among themselves, and they said, this keeps coming up. Is there an ultimate objective truth? And to them, it's like this question mark. And I'm going, and these are the good guys. And I'm going, that's the problem right there.
Well, there's no good or bad guys. Humans are humans. Humans are not saints. Okay, now listen.
That doesn't mean there's no good or no bad.
Well, there is good and bad. Of course, everything comes with a price. As no ordinary human, there's only so much you can afford. There's only so much you can afford. Let me say, you know there's a truth. You know there's a God. There is absolute truth, okay? There is universal truth. You know everything. But if you say it aloud, let me say, you say it out loud tonight, they're going to cut off your 2 feet. Tomorrow, you say it again, they're going to cut off your tongue, your 2 hands. Are you going to say that?
The Bible predicts we're going to be beheaded if we do. Yeah, so.
Well, let's just stay outside of the religious, okay, this is Adam's. Let's just talk about the realistic world.
Well, it supports what you say. I'm just saying the Bible says it's going to be much worse than getting fingers and toes.
Okay, let's say Bill Maher. Bill Maher knows everything, I guarantee. If you listen to his 2 some hours debate, or dialogue, not a debate, well, it's sort of debate, the discussion with Ben Shapiro, 3 weeks ago, or a month ago, 3-4 weeks ago, it's called Disagree, How to Disagree. Okay, that program has been watched by millions of people. That shows that people are interested in how to disagree. Why? Because it's more important than how to agree. It's so hard for people to agree with each other, but it's easy to disagree. How? Because you choose a topic that avoid predicament, avoid the big argument or fight. You can see throughout the dialogue, when they touch some, when they go into some touchy area, they jump out of that area. Then they go back to a certain topic they can discuss, disagree without setting the whole stage on fire. Okay, now let's use Bill Maher as an example. Bill Maher knows all these things, true, untrue, whatever, principle, whatever, okay? Then the price is, if he says thing A, his dog gonna be dead tonight, would he say that? He probably say yes. I'm not going to sacrifice my principle if you threaten the life of my dog. So he said that. The dog is killed. Next day, point B. If he dare to point out point B, they're going to rape his wife and behead his wife. It's going to say that?
No, of course not.
Right. Well, that's too much of a price to pay. That's what I'm saying. The point is, everything has a price. That's why the left is so good at using fear, using mafia politics to control society, because everybody is so worried about safety of their loved ones themselves. And that goes back to defund the police. That goes back to disrupt the social order. Once the society is in such an unsafe condition, everybody has to pick up something to defend themselves. Especially in this country, it's very dangerous. It's going to be extremely violent. thousands, if not millions of innocent lives going to be lost. In order to prevent that from happening, what's the best thing to do? Goes back to the topic, martial law. Once they declare martial law, everything is over. Okay? Everybody's safe now. As long as you get down on your fucking knees, start licking their boots, you're safe. They're going to throw some dog food or some biscuits on the ground. You can lick and stay alive. That's it.